Thank you, Dawn. I am so excited to be here. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I really am excited to be here with you. I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Frank Cargill for recommending me for this venue, for Chris Rudicus for saying yes, you can come. I appreciate that. And for all of you here who are constituents of the Institute for Supply Management here in Chicago, super excited to be here. As Dawn said, everybody, my name is Ray McElroy, and I had the honor and the privilege of spending 6 years playing professional football in the National Football League. I played 4 for the Indianapolis Colts, 1 for the Detroit Lions, 1 for hopefully still your Chicago Bears. Maybe, I know we're looking a little shaky right now. I know it's tough to be a Bear fan right now. But hang in there, we're gonna be all right. And ladies and gentlemen, I played against legends. I played against guys like Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Barry Sanders, Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward, Donovan McNabb, T.O., Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, folks, the list goes on. I played with future Hall of Famers like Peyton Manning, Marshall Faulk, Marvin Harrison, and Brian Urlacher. Those guys are my teammates. I also spent 5 years as Chicago Bears team chaplain under Lovie Smith, where I was the spiritual mentor for the Bears from 2008 to 2012. And I love sharing with folks my very first NFL experience. Being a kid from Chicago, I had the goal and the dream of playing professional football. And at 23, I finally got the call from the Indianapolis Colts saying, Ray, we want to draft you in this year's NFL draft. And so game day arrives. I'm finally playing. And we go all the way to the AFC Championship game my rookie year. And we find ourselves in the biggest game that I've ever been in. We were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And everybody, this wasn't any ordinary game. This was the AFC Championship game. That meant the winner of this game was going to play the Dallas Cowboys, folks, in the Super Bowl. Now, really quickly, do I got any NFL fans in the room? Beautiful, good to see y'all. All right, so you all probably already know that when you go to Pittsburgh to play against the Steelers, folks, do you only play against the Steelers? No, but you got to deal with 70,000 lunatics, right? Y'all seen them on TV, right? They got their bodies painted in black and gold. They're waving the terrible towels, right? And them folk, everybody are losing their mind, literally. Me and my guys with the Colts, we ran out of the tunnel onto the field, and right away those 70,000 fans were all over us. Folks, I heard stuff like this. Hey, yo, number 40, you suck. Yo, number 40, we're gonna eat your kids. I mean, just crazy stuff, right? And so, folks, I told you I played defensive back. Now, very quickly, I played defensive back in the National Football League. How many of y'all in here, you have no idea what a defensive back is? You don't know. You don't know. I got a young lady right there. She's sitting at my table. I didn't get a chance to answer her question. What is your name? Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Hi. Amanda, do you follow football at all?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Okay, do you know who Jay Cutler is?
Oh, yes.
Yes, you sound a little shaky, Amanda. Do you know what position? I'm sorry?
Isn't he married to somebody that I...
Oh, wow. Talking about who he's married to? Okay. Yeah, he's married to this reality TV star. That's who you know. Okay. So, do you know, Amanda, what position Jay Cutler plays?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What position on the football field?
Quarterback.
He's a quarterback. That's right. I love the motion of the arm. So you know the quarterback, Amanda, is the guy that says height,
Yes.
and he throws the ball to those little skinny fellas out on the edge, Amanda. Okay. My job, Amanda, was to stop those guys from catching the ball. All right, beautiful. But everybody also played on the kickoff team. And the kickoff team, ladies and gentlemen, is when you have 5 guys to the right and to the left. The kicker kicks the ball downfield, and my job was to run down the field and tackle the dude with the ball before he scored a touchdown. So everybody, I'm running down the field, right? And I shook one dude, and I shook another dude, and with a fork full of food, there he was. The newest member. Would you come help me out for a second, please? I know you're stuck. Tyler. Now, Tyler, you're not nervous, are you, Tyler? That's amazing. Because I promise you, I am not going to hurt you in front of all of your colleagues and associates. That badly. All right, so now just come on over here. All right. Stand right there, Tyler. Relax your arms. You don't want to have them in your pockets right now. All right. Everybody, so now. There he was. So, I just went up to the dude, nice and calmly, and I scooped him up just like this. Now, ladies, I had this dude just like this, okay? He wasn't going nowhere. Tyler, you doing all right back there, buddy?
Well, good, man.
Beautiful, beautiful. There you go. I planted him right on the turf. Ladies, I took my shoulder, drove it into his stomach. I rolled off of him. I jumped up. I was like, woo! I was feeling good, right, man? I looked down on the ground. The dude was rolling around on the ground, y'all, in pain. He was like, Hello, Tyler. Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you roll around on the floor like you're in pain and go all fours, please? Go. Perfect. Everybody? Yeah, I remember there was 70,000 folk I was telling you about. Yeah, talking about me want to eat my kids. Everybody, when they saw that hit, they wasn't talking about a brother no more. 70,000 folks saw that and they said all together, Tyler, they was like this, bro. They said, oh. And everybody, you never experienced anything like the power to move 70,000 people with something good that you did. Tyler, I appreciate you. You're a great sport. Would y'all give a hand for this out? And I think about what you folks do with supply chain management. It's all about how do you influence, how do you encourage, and how do you galvanize your teams, your teammates, and your contractor partners to work together with the ultimate goal of moving your supply chain forward in order to score and accomplish something that maybe nobody ever thought that you could. I had that same experience, and so this idea of what it looks like to move the chains forward is very parallel in your business and in football. I need 2 guys. I need, young man, please. Stretch as far as you can. All right. Beautiful. All right. Now, these chains, ladies and gentlemen, literally represent where an offense or team has to go in order to continue moving their team forward. All right. If that team is communicating well, if all the members of the team are on the same page, no matter what the competition is trying to do, no matter what the issues are, no matter what the obstacles may be facing them, if they execute properly, any team has the ability to bypass the opposition and continue to move their team forward toward the ultimate goal, and that's scoring. What does it look like for you as businesses, as companies, to move your change forward, to get your teams galvanized so that you all are moving in the right direction that you desire to go as companies? And many times the hardest thing to do in supply chain management is to capture all of these different people, all your different partners, all of the different personalities, and all of the moving parts that go into getting the product to the customer as efficiently and effectively as possible. Really quickly, how many of you guys can guess how many positions there are on a football team? 14? A little more than that. You got 11 and 11, and then you got your special teams. I like that. That's the way to think. It's pretty good.
I have no idea off the top of my head, but
Right. I like that. I like that.
some people play different
Some
positions.
people play different positions. That's exactly right. So you're going to average about 25 different positions on a football field, on a football team at any given time. And that's just the players. That doesn't include the coaching staff. That doesn't include the equipment staff. That doesn't include the front office staff. That doesn't include the training staff, the strength and conditioning staff. All of these different moving parts, everybody, is what you see represented on any given Sunday or Monday when you watch a football game. And they're all working together to try to produce that end goal, and that's victory on Sunday and Mondays. And so when you think about what that looks like from your perspective, I will give you a couple of parallels. It's a very, very difficult thing to do. My rookie year in the NFL, I remember walking into the Indianapolis Colts locker room. You're talking about different personalities and trying to mesh to move forward. I remember as soon as I walk into the complex for the first time, I run into this 6'5", a biscuit away from 300-pound dude. I'm gonna call him Big Country for the sake of the presentation because we're filming it, and I hope he's not looking for me. But Big Country, 6'5", 300 pounds, loved to antagonize rookies. Big guy. And so I remember when I walk in, he sees me, obviously I'm as green as a leaf, right? And he walks up to me and he says to me, "How you doing, dog face?" And I was like, first of all, you don't even know me. How you gonna call me dog face? You silverback gorilla, you know? Notice I said that's what I thought to myself. Right? And so of course, being a tough kid from Chicago, I don't back down. I step right to him, I look up to him and I say, "I'm fine, how are you, sir?" 6'5", 300 pounds, I'm smart. He was standing next to a guy. I guess all of those 6'5" people, they just kind of like to walk together. And he had this cup in his hand. Now, I'm from the inner city, so I'm not used to seeing stuff like this. And he had this stuff in his mouth that he was chewing on that I'd never seen before, just kind of, just standing there, kind of looking at me with his country hat on. And he said to me, "So, where y'all from?" And he spit this disgusting, dark, solid coffee substance that I'd never seen before. I'm from the inner city. We don't do stuff like that, And I'm looking at him like, ugh, I'm from planet Earth, dude. Where you from? I'm like, my goodness, I can't even get in the building good enough. I got this 6'5" dude I think he'll eat me. This other dude is spitting crap in a cup. So then I get by them eventually, and I walk into the locker room, and I meet this guy by the name of Conrad Clarks. Now, really quickly, do I got any people here from Louisiana in the room? Any Louisianans? Wonderful, I'm safe. All right, so I want to tell you, Louisianans, however you pronounce that, no disrespect to them, they're just a little different. They're a little different. Let me tell you about Conrad Clarks. Conrad Clarks, everybody, was from a little town called Franklin, Louisiana. Underneath Franklin, basically, is the Gulf of Mexico. So if you just happen to be walking on the street in Franklin and you trip to the right, you in the Gulf. That's how deep south they are. All right? And Conrad Clarks, he was really, really dark skinned, and he had about 3 or 4 gold teeth. Not judging, that's just how he rolled. And one of his teeth, he had like a little diamond stud in one of the teeth right there. So when he smiled, it just kind of greeted you really nice, And it was interesting. He said that, it got him a lot of play with the ladies. So he said, I don't know if that's true. And Conrad Clarks, when you talk to him, even though you found out that he was from Louisiana, you thought maybe he was from someplace else. He reminded me of this guy. How many of you guys saw The Water Boy? Alexander, remember Farmer Fran and The Water Boy? For those of you who didn't see Farmer Fran, I want you to get a glimpse of who Farmer Fran is. Okay. Just have the defense run sprints. Killing me. Alrighty. Shortly after that, everybody, we got invited to the team meeting room, and all the rookies were kind of sitting in the back. And I told you that we didn't have any superstars on our team. that you could necessarily name except for one, and I'll mention him in a moment. But anytime you're a kid growing up, wanting to be a professional football player, you grew up watching these guys, so all of these guys are studs to you, right? And so I'm sitting in the meeting room and I'm watching these guys come in. I'm like, oh man, there go Marshall Faulk. Now he was the one stud we had. Marshall Faulk was Rookie of the Year last year before I got to the team. Oh wow, there's Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, of course, I grew up watching that dude play when I was in high school when he played for the Chicago Bears. Then I looked and I was like, snap, there goes Steve Entman. Steve Entman was the first overall pick in the NFL draft just a couple of years before I got there. And then I'm like, and then there's me. What in the world am I doing in this room with these guys? And I started kind of freaking out, like, do I even belong here? What am I doing here? And before I could start really going crazy, this little old man walks into the meeting room and kind of looks like could be any of our grandfathers. He's about 5'10", 5'9", and as you can see, had silver and grayish hair and reading glasses like your grandfather would wear. And I remember that even though this guy wasn't very intimidating, when he walked into the room, I'm talking 90 of the biggest, baddest, boldest, strongest alpha of alpha males got themselves right and sat up in their chairs and got quiet quicker than altar boys at a Catholic mass. And when the iconic Ted Marchibroda began to address the team, everybody, you could have heard a pin drop. Ted, I still remember the first things he said. He said, gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you to this year's version of the 1995 Indianapolis Colts. You are all in this room because we believe you are all able and capable of helping us win football games. And I remember when I heard him say that, I thought to myself,